A brand new poll shows that lawfare is backfiring on Biden as Trump stays strong in North Carolina. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video, and today it is time to talk about the 2024 presidential election because everyone, we have a brand new poll out of the state of North Carolina, and not only does it show Donald Trump staying strong at the top of the ticket, but it appears that Republicans up and down the ballot are surging in North Carolina. Yeah, that's right. This isn't just Trump surging. This isn't just one candidate in particular surging. No. This is the entire Republican ticket, all the way up from Trump, all the way down to some random state legislative race experiencing a surge. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Again, folks, all support is greatly appreciated, and yeah. Now, let us get into it. Former President Trump continues to lead President Biden in the Tar Heel state as efforts to convict and possibly imprison the former president appear to be backfiring on North Carolina Democrats. According to a new poll of 600 likely general election voters conducted by Spry Strategies from June 7th to June 11th. So yeah, this is multiple weeks after the conviction. You cannot use the argument of, well, actually no one knew about it. Nope. This poll was conducted like 2 weeks after the fact. Trump leads Biden in a head-to-head matchup by 4 percentage points, with 48% indicating they will vote for Trump and 44% indicating they plan to vote for Biden. 8.5% are undecided. Trump's lead expands when independent RFK is included, with 45% indicating they will support Trump, 37% supporting Biden, and 8% Kennedy. The Kennedy campaign has submitted signatures in an effort to qualify for the North Carolina ballot. So oddly enough, RFK actually hurts Biden much more than Trump here. I mean, just based on the numbers here, yeah. RFK hurts Biden by about 4 points more than Trump because, yeah, Trump goes down by 3 points, but Biden goes down by 7. And that should tell you everything about the Biden campaign. Most of Biden's support, it's still soft. That means it's support that, you know, the vast majority of supporters will vote for him no matter what, but a large chunk of them, they're not necessarily happy with him, and they're more willing to vote for someone else over him. We've been seeing this across the board. In some states, you see this with Trump, but the difference is Trump is still at 45% here. That's only a couple points worse than 2020, and even the head-to-head matchup, Trump's basically at where he was back in 2020. The Spry results are similar to other recent polls. Currently, Trump is leading the RCP average in North Carolina polls by 5.5 points. Biden has not led a public North Carolina poll since March of 2023. And people really think he's gonna magically win the state? This is the same state that back in 2020 and 2016, Biden had a big lead in 2020, Clinton had a big lead in 2016. How did that go? Well, guess what? Now Trump is leading. So theoretically, if the same polling error that occurred back in 2020 and 2016 occurs here, Trump could be winning by like 8 to 9 points. Yeah, that's like an 8-point shift from 2020. 57% of North Carolina voters disapprove of the job President Biden is doing, with half of all North Carolina voters strongly disapproving. In other words, half of North Carolina, no matter what you say or do, they hate this guy. And remember, back in 2022, Republicans won like 95% of the vote from strongly disapprove. It was something crazy like that. So if the same thing occurs in 2024, where like 95% of those that strongly disapprove of Biden, they vote for Trump, well, guess what? Trump's already at like 48% without having to do a damn thing. Yeah. That's why this is significant. That means that these voters, they're not going to vote for Biden no matter what. Now, some of them might vote for RFK, but do you really think RFK is going to win like half of this vote? No, Trump's going to win like 90 to 95% of it, more than likely. And that's why I think Biden's just cooked in North Carolina. Half of the state hates his guts. Trump's already at 48%. And when you include RFK, Trump's lead expands to 8 points. And this isn't just one poll. Look at the current polling here in North Carolina. Trump is leading on average by 5 points. So this poll actually understates Trump compared to other polling. And even this same poll has Trump outside the margin of error. In other words, I think North Carolina is going to vote for Trump no matter what happens. As reflected on Trump's time as president, 52% of voters indicated they approve of the job that he did as president, while 46% disapprove. Interesting that of the Trump supporters, 79% say they voted for Trump in 2016 and or 2020. However, 14% say they recently became a Trump supporter because of the sad state of the nation under Biden. Yeah. This took me off guard completely. 14% of Trump supporters now said, we became a supporter recently. Not, 5 years ago. Nope. Just like last year, maybe. Or maybe like 2 months ago. You know what that means? Theoretically, if the math is correct here, again, this poll could be off by a couple points, but let's assume that this is accurate. That would mean that Trump has flipped a bunch of Biden voters. And a good chunk of the undecided vote could be Trump 2020 voters. So this lead Trump has could only expand. If that's the case, I'm not saying it's going to, but the fact that 14% of Trump supporters are saying they've recently flipped to him, not 5 years ago, that is significant. 1.6% of Trump supporters said they were anti-Trump until the weaponization of the justice system was used against them. Which that's basically nothing, but it shows that there might be some voters out there that are anti-Trump but decide, you know what? What's happening with the justice system's a joke. And I'm going to vote for him. That's what the poll indicates. That it's only 1%, but in some states, that could be the difference between Trump winning and losing. Trump is commanding a full 85% Republicans, while Biden's only winning 71% of self-identified Democrats. Yikes. That is bad. Like, for Biden, that is a disaster. He's only getting 71% of Democrats, so on paper, that should mean that, a chunk of these voters should be Democrats or whatever, but here's the thing, Trump is not doing that good to the Republicans either, and he's still at 48%. So that does, in fact, mean, yeah, Trump is probably winning a decent chunk of Biden voters from 2020, and there's a bunch of Trump voters from 2020 still undecided. The more I read into this poll, the more I realize this is a disaster. And some of the numbers could be off, but if this is anywhere true, where Trump's only getting 85% of the Republican vote, but still at 48%, I just don't see a pathway for Biden at that point. Now, can he still theoretically win it? I guess, but it just, the more you look at this, like, look at this right here. Biden's currently attracting less than half of African-American voters. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but if Trump is really at 23% with these voters, there's no way Biden could win. This is North Carolina. This isn't Wisconsin where the black vote's non-existent compared to states like North Carolina. Hell, we could see this in the age groups. I mean, look at this. Trump is leading in every single age group except the youth vote, where Biden wins by 4 points. Congratulations, you're up by 4 points with the young vote? This vote should be the most Democrat. And right now, it's only Biden plus 4. These are numbers that are not sustainable for any Democrat. Biden mathematically is not going to win North Carolina with these numbers. And the only age group he's actually doing kind of good in, it's kind of funny enough, is the senior vote. I've been over this a million times. We're going to see a senior shift towards Biden compared to other age groups, obviously. I mean, the fact that Biden's only down by 3 points with these voters should tell you everything. These voters, they're stubborn. They're going to vote Democrat no matter what. The economy could crash tomorrow, and these people would still vote for Biden because orange man bad. That's the reality of the new senior vote. It's not the senior vote of 30 years ago. And people got to understand that. Just because this senior vote's shifting, that doesn't mean Biden's flipping a bunch of old voters. No! What's happening is the senior vote of 20 years ago, which was actually conservative, got replaced with the boomers. You know, the hippie generation? Gee, I wonder why they're voting for Biden. I'm sure they were lifelong Republicans. No, they weren't. The fact is, the senior vote now is way more liberal than it was 20 years ago. And that's why on paper, Biden is doing so good with them. Well, guess what? It's a different type of senior vote. The ones that were conservative got replaced with ones that were, frankly, much more liberal. The ones that refused to fight in Vietnam instead of the ones that fought in World War II. That's the difference. And people don't comprehend this. I just don't get it. It's a fact. When you get older, you're not going to live as long. That's just a fact in life. And some people cannot comprehend that. They really think that, oh, Biden is flipping so many older voters. No, he's not. It's not like with the 18 to 34 age group where, yeah, there might be some new voters, fine, but Trump's actually gaining. Now, as for the rest of the North Carolina ticket, Republicans are actually doing kind of good. Remember when everyone was saying that, oh, Mark Robinson has no chance at winning? Remember that? Well, according to the same survey where Trump's up by 4, and I'm not saying this is spot on, but the Spry survey showed 43% of North Carolina voters favoring Republican Mark Robinson, with 39% favoring Democrat Josh Stein. Yeah. 39% are voted for Stein, 43% for Mark Robinson. This is one poll, and you can look at the RCP aggregate. Before today, Stein was up by 0.2. But let's face it, this Quinnipiac poll needs to be thrown out. Like, what the hell? I did a whole stream dedicated to that poll. It was bullshit. They had some bizarre shifts where Robinson was doing like 20 points better with black voters, but white voters won like 40 points Democrat or something. It's like, wait, what? Plus, this poll's what, 2 months old? It's been 2 full months, and it's still in the RCP average. And you take that poll out, Robinson takes the lead. Now, we expected Robinson to underperform Trump, not because he's, a Doug Mastriano candidate. No, he's not. It's because Democrats in North Carolina do better down ballot. So when this poll gets kicked out of the aggregate, more than likely Robinson takes the lead. He's down by 0.2 right now, but look at this. They had Emerson with +1 for him, High Point University +5, Cook Political Report tied. It just keeps going, and even the East Carolina University poll, it's Stein +1. So I've always had questions about the governor race in North Carolina, but this is a recent poll. This is post-conviction. And right now, it has Robinson up by 4. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be spot on because, the other polls showed much closer, and I do agree it's going to be a close race. But if Trump is really winning by 4 or 5 points, I think Robinson's a favorite. I've always said this, that if Trump's winning by 2 to 3, Robinson probably loses, or he's not the favorite. But if Trump's up by 4 or 5, which in this poll he is, I think Robinson wins. Again, I'm not saying Robinson's for sure going to win, but the fact that this poll has him tied, or not tied, but doing the same as Trump margin-wise, I think is a very good sign for him. And look at the other races. Republicans are winning the lieutenant governor's race, they are winning the North Carolina Supreme Court race, and the congressional generic ballot, they're up by 8 points. So Republicans down ballot are doing very good. This isn't just, Trump's doing so good that, the rest of the tickets, doing like 5 points or 10 points worse. No. Some of them are, but down ballot Republicans are doing damn good. Even look at the congressional races. They're up by 8. Yeah, Trump's up by 4. The more you look at this poll, the more you realize North Carolina has a good chance of becoming a Republican state after this cycle. I know this sounds crazy, but if Republicans are really winning the generic ballot by 8 points, Trump's up by 4 points, if Mark Robinson wins, if we win the Attorney General race, all of that, Republicans have solidified control of North Carolina. And if that does in fact happen, I think we're going to see the next Florida and North Carolina, where it's a swing state for many years, but then after one cycle where Democrats suffer embarrassing defeats up and down the ballot, Republicans take control of the state and they can pass whatever the hell they want, and in 5 years it becomes a Republican state. But we just got to see what happens. But it seems like Republicans are looking pretty good in North Carolina, not just for the presidency, but for the Supreme Court race, for the lieutenant governor race, etc. It looks like Republicans are looking pretty good. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.